Coming up on Ozarks News Journal, downtown Springfield has seen some new developments.
And what some people in the Ozarks are doing to make ends meet. Ozarks News Journal starts now.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Ozarks News Journal. Each week we take an in-depth look at the stories that matter most to Missouri. I'm Akeem Ashford.
And I'm Dale Duggins. We're glad to have you with us. Up first today, downtown Springfield has seen quite a change of late. The district has seen revitalization of the square and historic buildings and an increase in business. Our Bart Baker has more.
Downtown Springfield is one of the region's most historic spots, with buildings such as the Hers and Woodruff dominating the skyline. The downtown district has seen plenty of change in the last 7 years thanks to over $500 million in funds for revitalization projects. All of this has made downtown more inviting for new businesses and tourists seeking a little nostalgia.
Just the authenticity of this downtown, it really sets it apart from other areas that are big box stores or retail strip centers. You come here and you see the history that is here, from the square with the Butterfield stage line, with Route 66, the character of the buildings. All those really translate into an authentic experience that you're just not going to get anywhere else.
Rusty Worley and the Urban District Alliance have spearheaded the revitalization of downtown over the last 7 years and have helped some of these historic buildings find new businesses.
Cool to use these kind of buildings that otherwise are just sitting empty, like a lot of them you see around town.
It's not just the classic buildings that have drawn these businesses downtown. Many of the new owners know that it's all about one thing.
With, it's location, location, location. With us having, other locations downtown, it kind of the natural progression was for us to, take over some more spaces on this street. And then with this location coming available, it was a former restaurant, so there's a lot of infrastructure that was already in place that we don't have to add, as we're doing the remodel.
Most of the new businesses have already opened or will open in the coming months, giving tourists and residents new and exciting places to go. In downtown Springfield, I'm Bart Baker, Ozarks News Journal.
The month of September was a good one for unemployment rates. The nation's employers added about 114,000 jobs, dropping the unemployment rate from 8.1% to 7.8%. The private sector has also shown growth during the month of September by adding nearly 104,000 jobs. According to the New York Times, jobs have been on a steady rise since March of 2010.
Hy-Vee is one step closer to building a second store in Springfield. The city's Planning and Zoning Commission gave its okay on Thursday. The proposed site is on Sunshine Street, just east of Glenstone. The first Hy-Vee built in Springfield is located at Battlefield Road and Kansas Expressway.
With the economy's slow growth, many Springfield families are looking to bolster their household income. Our Alyssa Thornton takes a look at second incomes, a trend that is becoming the norm.
These days, having just one job is coveted, but may not be enough to make ends meet. For Rachel Rousseau, a Missouri State junior, this has become a part of everyday life.
With my mom and everything too, there were some credit cards out that I have to pay off. She needed the help, so I let her use them. She lost her job, so I had to take over everything, because it's in my name.
And her bills would be overwhelming for most students.
You figure I'm paying $950 a month in bills.
But Rachel doesn't let it get her down.
I'd have to say it's just the people I surround myself around. That's what keeps me positive. And knowing if I work hard now, someday it'll pay off. I definitely believe in karma.
For Amy Rose, owner of Backstage Tanning, having two jobs is a means to a clear end.
A lot of my money I make at my retail job, I use toward building Backstage. That way I don't have any business loans and borrow money to use that way. Everything with Backstage is completely 100% paid for.
Besides both having two incomes, Rachel and Amy share one important trait. They're chock full of motivation.
I want to build it to grow it big with just 100% work.
In Springfield, Alyssa Thornton, Ozarks News Journal.
Identity theft affects 11 million people each year. An easy way to protect yourself from identity theft is to shred documents that may contain personal information. Items like tax returns, bank statements, credit card offers, old photo IDs, and pay stubs should be shredded when they are discarded.
There is a new cyber scam you should be aware of, and it's called ransomware. Users are told their PC is blocked because they were accessing an illegal site and that the FBI is watching them. The message has an official FBI seal, so users should be cautious. The FBI is investigating this virus. You may want to be more cautious when you are traveling because you don't want to come home with any unwanted strangers in your bed. Our Megan Snurbush has more.
Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Unfortunately, bed bugs are more than a nursery rhyme. They are very real.
In the past 2 years, maybe 3, we started doing quite a few more bed bug treatments. In the past 10 days or so, our bed bug heat unit has been out, I think, 9 of the 10 days. So we're doing bed bugs all the time.
When Bug Zero started doing business 20 years ago, they mostly saw bed bugs in hotel rooms and student housing. Now they are seeing a huge increase in single-family homes.
They don't discriminate on sex, age, race. They don't care. They just want to feed on humans.
Bed bugs don't just live in the bed.
They may travel 6 or 8 feet across the floor, climb an 8-foot ceiling, and actually be living in the curtain rod.
Bed bugs are nearly invisible, and a good place to check for them is in the seams of your mattress. You can always tell if a bed bug has been there by the tiny brown-colored spots it leaves behind.
You will eventually start getting a reaction to them.
Their bites leave behind red welts that itch. Exterminators are now using heat to kill bed bugs.
Warm the entire living space up to 135 degrees. And then we use fans to circulate that to make sure that we get uniform heat under the sofa, under the bed, behind the other furniture, that sort of thing.
There has been a rise in bed bugs because of the increase in international travel. So when traveling, be cautious.
First thing that we can do is, as you travel, before you settle into the hotel room, inspect the bedding and the immediate vicinity around the bed. And I mean, pull the sheets back and look on the seams and tufts around the mattress for any evidence that there's ever been a bed bug there.
In Springfield, I'm Megan Schnurbush, Ozarks News Journal.
Mizzou freshman Dorial Green Beckham faces a 1-game suspension after being arrested on suspicion of marijuana possession. The former Hillcrest football star and 2 of his Mizzou teammates were spotted by a campus police officer in Columbia Wednesday night. The players were released shortly after their arrest, and they have not been charged with possession. Platte City High School principal Patrick N. Martin resigned this week after being busted for patronizing prostitution. Kansas City police said a sting was performed on September 26th in a motel. Martin was issued a misdemeanor citation. His next court date is scheduled for December 27th. Assistant Principal Alan Bunch is serving as interim principal.
You may notice some trees and shrubs are blooming more than usual this time of year. The drought and extreme temperatures over the summer have caused plants to slow down their growth process. Fall has brought cooler temperatures, causing plants to blossom later than normal. Gardeners are encouraged to keep watering plants to give them an extra boost they need to deal with this changing weather. The Board of Public Utilities voted to proceed with negotiations to buy properties for a new bus station. The proposed 2.7-acre site will be on the north side of College Street between Main and Grand. The Board of Public Utilities has included nearly $4.6 million in the operating plan to fund the project. With the general election only a few weeks away, the public has seen an increase in the media coverage.
We went out to find out what people think about the election coverage.
To be honest, no, I haven't. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV. I get most of what I get off the internet, and I haven't found it overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always politicians attacking each other, and usually it's negative. Unless you really read articles and do self-research, you really can't rely on just advertisements and that alone.
I don't watch that much TV, but whenever the TV is on, there's always some sort of ad or something, so it is kind of overwhelming. But I don't watch TV enough to really let it affect me that much. But if I did watch TV a lot, I'm sure I would get extremely overwhelmed and annoyed with all of the ads and everything. So,
yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. It's just like a cat fight.
Coming up in Ozarks News Journal, Riley Bean sits down with Kirk Elmquist to talk about building projects in the Ozarks, and he will weigh in on the Springfield Cardinals winning the Texas League Championship. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Ozarks News Journal. Today we are visiting with former VP of Sales and Marketing for the Springfield Cardinals and current partner at Morlock Ross Builders, Kirk Elmquist. Kirk, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much, Riley. I appreciate you having me.
No problem. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself. You're very active all across the Ozarks. Tell us about some things you're involved in, present and past.
Well, today marks our Breast Cancer Foundation, the Ozarks' biggest fundraiser, which I'll be involved in tonight. I serve as a committee member on their Hooked on Dance committee. I also serve as a trustee on the Hamels Foundation board, which helps with education in Springfield. My wife and I are the presidents of the Carver Middle School PTA here in Springfield, Missouri. Really involved in that. Involved my children as much as I possibly can be. My youngest son, he plays basketball, so I help coach that team. And I'm involved with several charity functions. I'm involved in Rotary, been in Rotary for 11 years now. I was Rotary Volunteer of the Year this year. So 22 charities I'm involved in. I apologize, I can't name them all, but it's just a constant work with trying to help people who would, haven't been given the best break in life.
I understand you're a partner at Morlock Ross.
Yeah.
What are some notable projects currently underway?
Well, we have a lot going on in company-wide mission. Our company builds commercial construction projects all over the southwest Missouri area. We are involved heavily in residential, so we have 18 homes being built in the Joplin area. We've got 6 commercial projects going on over there as well. And then here in Springfield, there's several commercial projects and several residential developments coming on as well. We just finished a project here on Missouri State's campus. It's called Bear Village, and it's a new alternative built by the Majors Properties Group for students to have unique type living. If they're not going to live in an apartment, they've got a new choice to take on these new projects. And we've just started Bear Village 2, which will include a swimming pool. So that's one that's real close to home, just across the street here. Very excited about that.
Where is this located exactly?
It's just right here behind campus, behind the building that we're on. South, I can't remember the street exactly where it's at, but wonderful project, 4-story buildings, brand new apartments for students to rent and enjoy their college experience in Springfield.
Great. Okay, you were offered the job at Morlock Ross while you were working for the Springfield Cardinals. You were successful in that position. Why did you decide to make that career change?
That's a great question. I was at a stage in my life where I basically accomplished everything a person could accomplish in baseball. Was involved in starting a new club with the AA team, was involved at the Texas League Championship, which we were runners-up, and then the St. Louis Cardinals won the World Championship. We had an All-Star game here in Springfield, and then I got to experience the 2009 All-Star game at Busch Stadium. So my situation was really a wonderful situation there.
Yeah.
An opportunity came to me from my friend Wayne Morlock and made an offer to me that I couldn't refuse. And it was more time with my family, and it was an opportunity financially for me to get into an ownership type of mentality.
I'm sure you still keep tabs on the Springfield Cardinals.
I do.
So could you weigh in on the Cards winning their first ever Texas League Championship this year?
Well, congratulations to Matt Gifford and all the guys at the Springfield Cardinals, and Schilt, the new manager, and the players that are now playing for St. Louis and playing for Memphis. It was so exciting to see those guys come through this, and then for Springfield to actually get a championship. It's been since 1932 since Springfield has experienced a baseball championship. So when they won that this year, very exciting for them, very proud to be a part of that, in the first 5 years. But them winning that was such a neat situation, and all that does is help build the mechanism for the St. Louis Cardinals, because that's the true barometer of what minor league baseball is about. It's not about winning these league championships, although it is a great added revenue source at the end of the year.
Yes.
It truly is about building up the big club to win the world championships, and that's what that ring represents.
Right. It's about growing the players.
Absolutely.
All the way through the system. Okay, Kirk, what do you see in Springfield's future?
Well, what I would hope to see is a large beltway around the city between Republic, Ozark, Rogersville, out through Marshfield, up north through Bolivar, which would create a gigantic synergy to create more community interest and more of a Springfield interest instead of so many segmented communities. I feel like you could always keep your identity as a small community, but really grow it for population. As things happen in this country, more people are moving off the coasts and to the middle of this country. We need to be prepared for that. I see that type of thing. I see new independent living downtown. I see a lot of senior advancement retirement homes, and we're also looking at a ton of added on retail coming into this area. We've got 6 million visitors going to Bass Pro on a yearly basis. Yeah. Those 6 million also travel to Branson. Well, we could be prepared, you know, for other larger opportunities if we brought more entertainment to the area, more retail to the area, certainly more fine dining, more restaurants, and more hotels. You know, I really see Springfield never really going backwards. I really see it moving in a forward, steady growth pace, 4 to 6% on a yearly basis for the next 20, 25 years.
Tell us about your radio program that you do with Ned Reynolds.
Oh man, I tell you, nobody's better in the world than Ned Reynolds. Been around for 45 years at KY3, one of the institutions in the sports industry in our area. One of my very dear friends now. Every Monday and Friday, we have Dean Martin Monday, and we get on and talk about sports and whatever. We talk about building and business from 9 to 11 on Jock 98.7, and you can pick it up on the web at www.jock987.com and hear it anywhere. And then on Fridays, we have Frank Sinatra Friday. I'm a big Rat Pack fan, so we start off and we do our music bits with that. We talk sports, we talk entertainment, we talk a lot of food and drink, and just a lot of fun. Matter of fact, this coming Friday, we have a guy calling in from Bangor, Maine, where I did a black bear harvest hunt with him a few weeks ago. He's calling in to talk about what's going on in the Maine area. So we talk coast to coast, what's going on in sports, what's going on in all types of sports.
Black bear harvest. Are you an avid hunter?
It was my first harvest, and it wasn't a very big one, but it was the first time I'd ever been black bear hunting, and it was quite an experience, like I've never had in my life.
Do you hunt anything else?
Yeah, I hunt deer and turkey, and we hunt lobster. We love lobster. We did a little lobster fishing while we were up there in the Atlantic Ocean, and so there are no subjects we won't touch.
Great. Kirk, tell me, what is your favorite thing about living in Springfield?
I think the ability to get anywhere in 10 minutes, which I think is hilarious. I mean, you can get anywhere you want to go, is one of the things. But I think the value of family and the ability, the cost of living, the ability to have a good living for your family. Cost of living, taxes are very low here. Yes. Utilities are ridiculously low here. We're very fortunate in our area.
One of my favorite things about Springfield, all of the streets run either north and south or east and west.
You like the grid system?
That's right.
That's similar to Chicago. I agree with that too. That's a good call.
Well, Kirk, thank you very much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, Riley, my pleasure.
Coming up on Ozarks News Journal, we will put a local university grad assistant on the hot seat. Don't go away. Ozarks News Journal will be right back. You're very stylish, I gotta say.
Oh, thanks, man.
I noticed the watch also.
Yeah, that's, you gotta throw it out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We're here with Logan Franklin. Logan is a Missouri State graduate assistant for LGBT students. Logan, thank you for being here with us today. Logan, can you tell us a little bit about what LGBT is in your organization?
Well, LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, and I am the graduate assistant for LGBT students in the Office of Multicultural Programs, which falls under the Division of Diversity and Inclusion. And so what we do is we put on different multicultural programs throughout the year. We focus a lot on the heritage months, like Hispanic Heritage Month, LGBT History Month, which is what we're in the middle of right now. That's pretty basic.
So a lot of people might not understand exactly what LGBT History Month is. Can you kind of give us some more information on that?
Well, it's kind of like with the other history, there's a lot, African American History Month you've heard of, Women's History Month, and LGBT History Month is in October because that's around National Coming Out Day is in that month. And so it's just a way every year to kind of remember some of the struggles that LGBT people have faced historically and just kind of celebrate that bit of diversity.
Logan, do us a favor and tell us a little bit about more of what are some of your goals for the organization in the future?
Well, I just want to make LGBT students more visible on campus. We're working currently on getting a resource center somewhere on campus. Right now we have a table outside of the Multicultural Resource Center and working on expanding that to a larger center sometime in the near future.
So are there LGBT organizations on just about every college campus, would you say?
I'd say on a lot of college campuses. You may not see it on maybe some smaller, more conservative campuses, but for the most part, I would say most campuses our size definitely would have an organization.
And about how many students are involved on such an organization like that?
Spectrum is the name of the student organization on our campus that deals with LGBT issues, and it's kind of like the Gay Straight Alliance for our university. And they typically have this year they've had on average about 60 to 70 members attend each meeting. So
pretty good turnout.
Yeah.
So how, can you kind of tell us about some of the events that are going on this month for LGBT History Month?
Yeah, the first day of the month we had a kickoff, and it was a big party on the North Mall, and just kind of celebrate the beginning of the month. It was hosted by a drag queen, and we had a couple of our students have an opportunity to do drag themselves. So, awesome. And then we had a guest speaker Tuesday night, October 2nd. Mara Kiesling, she's the executive director of the National Center for Transgender Equality, and I'm pretty sure it was one of the first times that we've had a transgender speaker at Missouri State, so that was pretty cool. And she gave a really good talk and was really motivating, and talked about, she used a flying car analogy, which is basically something that people haven't thought of yet, that they haven't really had to deal with yet, and just knowing what that is in your life. So
it sounds like you guys are doing a lot with a lot of students and getting a lot of people involved. Are you guys involved in any fundraising at all here on campus? And
not so much. We have the budget that we work under, which is the multicultural programming budget. I know the Spectrum, that organization, does some fundraising for their own things when they put on their own events. Their members pay dues, and occasionally they'll have like a bake sale to help pay for things, and they'll access SOFAC funding if they qualify and things like that.
So what kind of other events do you have planned for the rest of LGBT History Month?
On Tuesday, October 9th, we have LGBT issues and politics, and that's going to be led by Dr. Ralph Smith, and it's about basically what political issues have faced LGBT people in history, and specifically up to the 2012 election. And there will also be an opportunity to register to vote at the event. So it's really good to raise political awareness during a presidential election year. And we also have National Coming Out Day on Thursday the 11th. There'll be a table in the PSU, and they normally borrow an actual closet from the theater department for people to step in the back and then come out of the front, and just you can come out as LGBT, you can come out as an ally. And then the following week on October 15th, I'll actually be running an Ally Week table, and that's just an opportunity for someone to pledge to be an ally to LGBT students, which is basically someone who supports and fights for rights who isn't actually a member of the LGBT community. And it's also an opportunity for students who have an ally in their life to write a thank you card for someone. And our big event for the month is the Big Gay Talent Show, and it's on October 30th, Tuesday, October 30th, and it is just a big gay talent show, like they say. Anybody who's interested, they have auditions. Actually, the first day of auditions was yesterday, October 4th, and then Monday, October 8th is the second day of auditions, and it's from 5 to 7 p.m. in the PSU third floor. And so, and then it's always a pretty successful event. A lot of times the theater and dance department gets involved, so we'll have quite a few people from that department, and a lot of people tend to show up. So
very cool. Well, Logan, thank you for being with us. We really enjoyed talking to you today.
Thanks, Logan.
Thank you.
Coming up on Ozarks News Journal, child beauty pageants, are they exploiting children? And what one man did to get his pregnant girlfriend to the hospital. Don't go away. Ozarks News Journal will return shortly.
Facebook now has 1 billion active users. This means 1 out of every 7 people on Earth has a Facebook account. While the social network is established in North America and Europe, it is expanding to countries in Asia and other parts of the world. Co-founder Mark Zuckerberg says Facebook is his proudest accomplishment.
They make for popular reality TV shows and documentaries. But are those child beauty pageants exploiting the children? We went out to find out what people in our region think of those ever-popular miniature beauty queens.
I totally believe that they are. Making a child feel like she has to put that much makeup on and that much glitter and that much pizzazz and completely be totally who she isn't, aside from her normal life, is just really, really detrimental to them. It's not right. It's not teaching them to be themselves.
Yeah, I don't think that that's what we should use to value ourselves, the way our physical appearance is. So to me, I think it's sending the wrong message to kids and really to the nation as a whole. So.
I think that if the family has enough money to put the daughter or son into a beauty pageant, I don't see what's the problem.
Well, I think it can go too far and be detrimental because the parents get kind of a little overzealous. And so I think the kids do grow up being kind of, oh, I've got to look pretty, or I've got to be talented. And they may have other talents.
Apple is seeking over $1.7 billion in damages from Samsung for their patent lawsuit. Apple has requested to seek enhancement on what the jury has deemed willful patent infringement. The lawsuit is still far from over and figures could change. Apple is also asking for an injunction against other products with similar features, such as devices like the Galaxy S3.
New research for gadgets that do their job, then dissolve inside you, seems to be the way doctors are steering medical technology for the future. Scientists recently reported that they have tried this procedure with lab mice and found that the gadgets did what they were supposed to, then went away thereafter. Scientists say someday similar devices might be programmed to monitor the body and release drugs accordingly.
A Central Florida man is behind bars after he carjacked a driver in a desperate attempt to get his pregnant girlfriend to the hospital. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office reported 31-year-old Robert Boudreau allegedly walked into the path of a car, forcing the driver to pull over, and then threatened to shoot the driver if he didn't give him and his 22-year-old girlfriend a ride. Boudreau faces charges of armed carjacking, fleeing, and eluding and driving with a suspended license.
That's all the time we have for this week's edition of Ozarks News Journal. Be sure to join us again next week for more in-depth news about our region. If you would like more information about these stories and others, be sure to visit our website at ozarksnewsjournal.com.
Thanks for joining us and have a great day, Missouri.